Hello, I am your host, Gold Caliber. Today, we are going to discuss the different types of rides that Uber can whore out to passengers, at your expense. We will be discussing Uber Pool, Uber X, Uber XL, Uber Select and Black, and finally, Uber Lux. Let's move ahead and explore vehicular prostitution by Uber driving. This is Uber Pool. In Uber Pool, your vehicle functions as a bus, and you are the bus driver. You can pick up 3 separate people who have no relationship to each other at all, other than the fact that they're all headed the same direction. The reason why people order this type of ride is that they all get to divide the cost of the trip so that in the end, they pay as little as possible. In other words, Uber Pool riders are the cheapest kinds of passengers you'll ever get. Never expect tips from Uber Pool riders, you'll just break your heart. These people are probably as poor as you. You can already imagine the kind of shit that could potentially happen. Passengers who don't know each other can start discussing sensitive issues, like politics and religion. There will be arguments and all of a sudden, a brawl happens inside the car. Hell, maybe one of your passengers is a criminal and has a knife or a gun to mug you and the other passengers. Aside from that, entitled, bitchy passengers will rush you if you wait for another passenger. Different passengers, different temperaments. All it takes is one asshole to cause the entire ride to go to hell. And do you think you're getting paid more to do this form of bus service? Hell no. You still get paid the same shitty rates, except this time, you have a higher chance of getting killed, mugged, or at the very least, given a 1-star rating from a passenger that got into a fight with another rider in your car. Uber Pool is not worth it. I repeat, Uber Pool is not worth it. Every experienced Uber driver knows to decline all Uber Pool rides. Once again, avoid, reject, decline. Do not even consider Uber Pool rides.
You should get some help with that personality of yours. You fuck! Shit, man!
Oh no. What did I tell you? There's a high chance that your Uber Pool passenger will be a crazy maniac. Unfortunately for you, the third Uber Pool passenger you're supposed to pick up is actually a mass shooter. She's such a crazy bitch that she couldn't wait for you to arrive and she just started to open fire on other innocent pedestrians. Well, what should you do? Of course, call the cops. But then again, where's the fun in that? She already shot your vehicle and you will probably be deactivated by Uber for a while until you can get that bullet hole fixed. Yup, that's Uber's justice for you. Uber doesn't care about you. It only cares about itself and the money it can get from the passengers. You might as well become a hero and take out that mass shooting lunatic. Even if you get hurt or killed, maybe people on social media will donate money to the family you leave behind. And that donation will amount to more than anything you'll ever earn from a lifetime of driving for Uber. Run her over and then use the hammer that you've been keeping around from episode 3's self-defense lesson.
Forgive me! Thanks! Next time you'll listen. Well, you know what I mean.
This is Uber X, the most popular Uber ride of all, and the one that most new and old drivers alike usually give. Basically, when it comes to prostitution, Uber is the pimp and your vehicle is the prostitute. The price of Uber X rides are definitely the standard rates. It's more expensive than the cheap thrills that an Uber pool provides, but not as boombastic as what the high-end escorts, luxury vehicles, can provide. Uber X is something that everyone who isn't desperate can afford without having to settle for ugly Uber pool rides that are prone to getting you into fights with other passengers or getting diseases from them. The Uber X vehicles can range from average looking to very good looking, but they basically function the same as the more luxurious cars. Again, just like in prostitution, most passengers aren't really that picky, especially if they're on a budget. They'd be satisfied with an average looking one, as long as they get to ride it.
Kiss me once, then kiss me twice, then kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Haven't felt like this, my dear, since can't remember when. It's been a long,
Yeah, I suppose you can take Elysian Fields Freeway.
long time. You'll never know how many dreams I dream about you, or just how empty they all seem without you. So kiss me once and kiss me twice and kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time.
Hey,
This is Uber XL or SUV. The point of XL or SUV is the ability of the vehicle to fit in 6 people as well as a bunch of luggages in it. Pretty similar to your average Japanese pornography actress. XL or SUV is perfect for a big group of people going to the airport or waiting to be picked up from an airport, and they have a lot of baggage with them. Like your typical crying prostitute. Drivers of XL or SUV get paid higher rates than the simple Uber X. But of course, this being Uber, higher pay doesn't mean it's decent pay, just like how pimps don't really pay their prostitutes well and only treats them as money-making tools. Also, since you drive a bigger vehicle here, if you ever start road raging, you'll be capable of running over more people.
forgive me. Shit.
Holy shit!
Hey, you.
No.
Really?
This is Uber Select, a step above UberX in terms of the type of vehicle the passenger will get. Uber Select drivers get paid a little more than UberX drivers because their cars are more expensive and stylish. If you're an Uber Select driver, you can still be given UberX rides. You don't want to accept those because you'll be wasting the money-making potential of your vehicle. This is why Uber Select drivers have very low acceptance ratings. They keep rejecting the low-paying UberX or Uber Comfort rides. Uber Comfort is another Uber scam that we'll discuss later. In terms of prostitution, you can compare Uber Select cars to the high-end model escorts that rich people often hire to go to parties with them. And when I say parties, I mean Hilton or Marriott hotel rooms for a night of passionate fun. This is UberLux, the most expensive type of car ride that people can order. If you have a luxury vehicle that probably costs in the hundreds of thousands or millions, then I have no idea why you are driving for Uber. Have you gone mad? If you can afford to drive a luxury vehicle, you shouldn't be driving for Uber at all. Why would you risk your fancy life, only to get killed by crazy or maybe even jealous passengers? Why risk getting infected by random diseases that they might carry? Why pick up and drive people to and from the airport? Shouldn't you be concentrating on your work or business that actually made you rich enough to afford a luxury car? Don't let Uber use your hard-earned car. This is like a pimp convincing a rich man that his daughter will become prostitute of the year if he allows him to pimp her out to other rich prostitute lovers. You don't need the money anymore, and you certainly don't want to break the trust of your daughter. Don't do it. Just go find another hobby or passion. If you're lonely and you just want to talk to people, go to Starbucks and start random conversations with people who can afford to pay for overpriced coffee. Anyway, if you can afford to own and waste time driving a luxury vehicle for Uber, then you can probably afford to break the law and just pay bribe money. Go ahead, do your thing, you weird, rich person. Welcome back. Now, it is time to talk about Uber Comfort. Uber Comfort is the latest scam that Uber is pulling on its drivers and passengers. Basically, any passenger who orders Uber Comfort can choose settings, such as making drivers shut up, making the driver change the temperature of the air conditioner, and a whole slew of other requests. It's not really that different from UberX actually. I am both an UberX and Uber Comfort driver, and I feel so raped by Uber. Passengers who order Uber Comfort pay more to Uber, but UberX drivers only get an extra 5 cents. Aside from that, since when have you heard of an UberX, or actually, any Uber driver at all, who declined a passenger's request to adjust the temperature in the car or to keep quiet? Uber drivers understand that passengers usually have this retaliatory nature, and so we just try to accommodate their requests without causing a scene, similar to how an inexperienced prostitute just takes a huge object up in the ass, because it's part of the job. Here, let me show you a sample of one of my Uber Comfort rides. I drove someone 6 miles and it only earned me $9. This is basically what I earned on a normal UberX ride back in the 80 cents per mile era whenever I drove 6 miles. Now with Uber Comfort, I can earn the same amount while passengers have been notified that they can boss me around some more. What Uber basically did was cut down our rates to 60 cents per mile. Then they rolled out Uber Comfort as some kind of great new product where we can potentially earn the same amount of money that we normally previously could, for driving the same amount of miles originally, but with the extra trouble of making the passengers feel more entitled to bully us. This is what Uber Comfort is really about, cutting down drivers' pay rates just so they could make people pay for something that they never really had to pay extra before. It's a scam. Anyway, let's review the previous ride types. When it comes to Uber Pool, avoid it, reject it, decline it, never, ever accept Uber Pool rides. UberX is your standard ride, you get paid crap. Uber XL or SUV is for drivers with big vehicles that can take a lot of bags and people. Uber Select is for drivers with more expensive cars. Finally, Uber Lux is for the insane or extremely bored rich people who want to feel what it's like to be poor, abused and working for the worst company in the world.
Come on.